All right, guys, how are we all doing today? I greet you all from anywhere you are joining us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. See your favorite captain, Captain Callistus. I see the thank you now, the ones that don't subscribe to my YouTube channel. As you don't subscribe, as all of us, we just they learn the matter they go. Like I've been the yarn. Callistus University of Aviation, and we day like this. So for all of you, we don't join. Una do well for ourselves because as una dey learn, so una dey expand una horizon towards that thing wey una dey do. Na magic na im e be, alright? No be magic, na human being dey do am, normal thing e be. But if you no lis ten to lectures like this, updates like this, you no go really understand how the matter dey take go. So for all of una, I really appreciate una. Make una still dey drop the comment under the comment section so that the thing go dey give me ginger to bring updates, more updates dey drop for una. So as the matter take be today, the update wey I carry come today na wetin all of us, so many of us don know about am, but so many dey still dey ask the question. Question be say dey dey ask, what are the steps becoming a pilot? The ways dem, the things dem wey the process or the process of becoming a pilot. So na I say make I bring conclusion so that everybody go learn, understand how the matter dey take. From there, you dey plan say you wan join aviation tomorrow, you don already know wetin to expect. You dey plan say your pikin wan join wan become pilot tomorrow, you don already know so that your pikin no go even see bobo you. At least as your pikin dey talk, you go tell am say what about this one? What about this one? Experienced pilots like me wey don pass through the process, say I talk say na so process, you know, e dey take. At least you wey be parent, you don already know from your pikin. Alright? So na the matter na I say I go bring come all of us table today so that we go dey updated about the way wey this matter dey take. If you never subscribe, please hit the subscription. Alright, so the first step na continuation of wetin I been don talk for the previous video wey I been do about preparation of your child or yourself to becoming a pilot. And if for the ones then wey don watch that video or that update, una go bear me witness when I talk about the age limit wey you go dey before you can enroll in flying school. Alright, so that age na wetin 18 years old. If you dey maybe a few months, like 2 months to your 18 years, you fit enroll. Because by the time wey you don enroll, you do your ground school, they write your exams, 2 months don pass, you don enter 18 years. So that age limit dey very, very important. So some persons they go dey ask the question still, say, should I get my degree before joining aviation if it's a requirement? Aviation nowadays, before it used to be that way, but nowadays, from secondary school, you can go directly into flying school, get your degree, and then, get your pilot license. Then, if you now intend to further your education by getting a degree, it's now up to you. At least by that time itself, you don't get wider horizon about what in life they talk about. You can now say, okay, let me just venture into this part of discipline so that I just get more knowledge and get a degree on that aspect. It will be an added advantage to you, not really towards the aviation or your piloting career, but in life generally. All right, because when you are going to do for your pilot job hunting, basically it's just only one airline I know today that request for a degree from you, which is UPS Cargo. They are the ones that request for that. You know, I don't know if there's someone that does that, but basically from secondary school you can go into flying school, get your license. With your license, CPL license, do your type rating, from that you can get it. All right. So the next step, that the one will be one of the key, most important key to becoming a pilot. I will don't talk about for the previous video. If you never watched that video, please drop them under the comment section. So you never watch that. About looking the cost of becoming a pilot. The video don't do. If you never watch the video about the cost of becoming a pilot, because I see so many people they come under my comment, don't they even say make I sponsor them? I will just smile like, well, no get with you to talk. All right. The matter where they on top table, no be small matter. Say I want become pilot, no be no be beans, you know. So and money they involved, though. Money is really involved, right? All right. So you guys gallant well, get yourself prepared financially. Say this thing I did go into. All right. If you never watch the video, please drop under the comment section. Say you want what the video about the cost of becoming a pilot. And we'll drop the link to you so that you just watch them. Right? So, but one if you watch the video and you've prepared yourself financially that okay, I'm ready to take this path, to go into this hurdle, then that's a good one. And be the next thing. All right. So make sure say financially you guard well go into the matter because tens of thousands of dollars, and we talk about here, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we talk about here, and millions of, hundreds of millions of naira, tens of thousands of millions of naira, and we talk about here. No be, no be, no be small something. People way young, no be small something. All right. So as you don't get sorted financially, the next step now waiting to search for school where you go do your training. Search for school where you go do your training. Searching for school, no be just let me start from Nigeria here. Nigeria where we dey, na only 2 flying schools now we get for Nigeria. We go take you from 0 level to CPL. Those schools now NCAT, Nigeria College of Aviation and Technology, Zaria, Kaduna State. The second one is International Aviation College in Ilori, Kwara State. All right, those are the 2. NCAT is federal government owned, while IAC Ilori is state government owned. Like I said on my previous video about the cost, NCAT costs around 23.5 million, while IAC lorry is approximately like 40 million now. So these 2 are just the ones then where we get for Nigeria here. Then outside Nigeria, we have in Kenya, Ethiopia, so many in South Africa. So many of Nigerians always patronize South Africa. We have so many pilots today flying in Nigeria that in South Africa. We have so many down there at the moment studying. All right. So their fees also ranges around $40,000, $45,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 and upwards. One thing again, I try to let people know, just like I stated on the previous video about the cost of becoming a pilot, is that just have it at the back of your mind that the amount you hear or that the school quotes for you is like always like 90% or 95% of the time, not the least amount you will pay. You will definitely pay higher. But the highest the amount you will pay after that is dependent on you, the student. How you go through your training, pass your exams, your practicals, all the drills and all that is dependent on you. All right. So go through my other post on the cost of becoming a pilot. I buttressed that point so well down there. So the next step you have to see while pursuing your pilot career After you've gathered the funds and you have it, remember, most of the flying schools you can pay in installments. Like I stated on my previous video about the course, you can pay in installments. So the next one now is you have the funds, you've registered, and you start the training. First part of the training is the ground school. Most of the schools, they will first take you towards ground school. Ground school is like classroom work, doing the theoretical aspect of the flying, because you no go enter inside this aeroplane without knowing what is inside, how the things inside work, what they do outside, and at least know everything about the aeroplane that you are going to fly. You write exams, pass the exams before going into practical aspect. Some schools will like some schools have their programs in a way that you first, out of maybe 13, 14 courses or subjects that you are going to do, while doing it and getting done with the ground school, you will write like out of the 13 courses, you will write like 8 to 9 subjects, courses, pass their exams before they will now take you to the flight line. That is, you're going for the practical. While you are now doing the practical, you are studying to pass the remaining 4 or 5 remaining subjects, depending on the program of the school. So, but just know that you first of all do the ground school. After the ground school, you now go into flying. While you're flying, you are writing the remaining part of your exams. As you're doing the training, you are training for your PPL, the private pilot license. So ground school, PPL. When you finish your PPL, get the license, the next step will be you going into instrument rating. You go into instrument rating. What that instrument rating? Before then, the PPL you are getting the license or private pilot license is mostly for VFR flying, that is visual flight rules, that you will not fly into clouds. Sorry, you will not fly into the clouds. So once the cloud base does not obey the VFR rules, which is like the cloud base has to be it shouldn't be below 5,000 meters, 5,000 feet, sorry, and horizontal visibility not less than 5,000 meters. You will have to do what? You won't fly that day. Most of the time, some schools or some instructors will request for a special VFR, which also has these conditions and all that. So those meteorological conditions, weather conditions, they are the ones that you'll be flying. Clear skies, now what you do they fly. They see where you go, you won't go into the clouds. So that is for PPL. Now for instrument rating. Instrument rating is now when you will be training on how to fly your instruments. Those instruments, all those needles, screens, them where on pins, them switches where on they see, and dials where on they see for inside the cockpit. Now that time where you do your instrument rating, now they will teach you about those ones. So when you are learning about your instrument rating, normally some aircrafts have what they call hood, head-up display. They will use it to cover your face that you won't see outside the aircraft. It's just basically the inside. That inside is, or some will wear you like a cap that will cover your face like this. So you just be focused on looking at the instrument. You won't have any business with the outside. The windshield in front of you is just like a fancy deck. So you focus on flying the instrument. So that is where you now continue that training until your instructor certify you that you are ready to do a check or exam. You now go and do the practical exam for that instrument rating. If you pass it, then you progress to the next step. That next step now in be waiting multi-engine. All these other ones where when they do before, what's it called? Single engine aeroplane, aircraft, turboprop, we get single engine for the nose of the aircraft like this. Now you use, they do that one. They do all those training, all those why. Once you don't finish that instrument rating, you now go into multi-engine. That multi-engine now go now be two engines. The propeller engine, you go get one propeller for this side of the wing, get one propeller for this side of the wing. So you go now train how to fly that multi-engine. By the time when you train how to fly the multi-engine finish, your instructor certify you that you are good to go, they go now carry you go do waiting. Give an examiner who will do you the check ride. If you pass the check ride, then you get your CPL license. CPL. That CPL is the commercial pilot license. With that, you do your hour building. Okay, before then you do your hour building, blah blah blah, and all that. After that, then they give you your CPL license. With that, you have graduated from the flying school. All right, that flying school now, you don't become a CPL holder, a commercial pilot license holder. All right, like then your parents go doff their cap, go beat their chest, say they have done it and you have made them proud. All right, so now so the matter take be. But the next question now is what everybody is waiting for. With your CPL, are you good to go? Answer to that, yes. So, yes, you are good to go to the next level. No, you are not good to go. You think that with only CPL, you can jump into the airline. Let's break it down. Or then, please hit the notification button. You have already subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please visit Captain Callistus YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube. All right, guys, welcome back. Let's continue and answer the yes and no question. Now, the yes, like I said, is for you to move to the next level. That next level is what you're going for a type rating. Type rating be like master's degree. Remember the aeroplane you use for your flying school. Now those small tuke aeroplane there. Now they use train you at least make you understand what you be to become a pilot. But you know end for there. So now type rating now for you to go and specialize on a particular aeroplane, maybe a jet or a turboprop or something like that. Wey be say na that one na you go dey fly commercially for the airlines. So no be just the one wey you use do flying school, na you go carry the training come for the airline. No, you gats go do type rating. So this type rating now, na you go still sponsor yourself for you to be saleable in the market. If you finish flying school with your CPL and you go that step further, that one step ahead to get a type rating on a particular aircraft, jet or turboprop or something, based on what is prevalent or dominant in your area. Maybe like Nigeria now, you look around, you say, okay, which aeroplanes then? Am I, will I have a greater chance of getting employment easier than the other? They go tell you, say, okay, now the Embraer E190, the trend now for Nigeria, Boeing 737, they Nigeria, CRJ Bombardier 900, they for Nigeria, 145, Embraer 145, and all that, they Nigeria. They fly. These ones that I mentioned now are more prevalent in Nigeria these days. So you can now choose and say, okay, let me go for this particular one. If you go for it, you get your type rating done. It will give you an edge over your counterparts. Then when we say, na just CPL as when I come out from flying school that time, and there they stop. Because so many of the airlines nowadays, they don't type rate students, CPL holders. They don't. they will prefer you. You have been type rated. In fact, they prefer experienced pilots more than the ones that are just ab initios, beginners. So for you to go that extra step to polish yourself, shine yourself to be marketable to the airlines, you can be able to get that type rating. That is a good yes for you. Now, the no part is that we ask the question, are you good to go? That part of no is that if you don't have that type rating, like I made mention earlier, your counterparts who have it, they will have an edge over you. Because by the time you go to the airlines for interview, they will ask you, do you have type rating? And you say, yes, I have so type rating. They will say, okay. The other person they ask, do you have type rating? You say no, you don't have type rating. Most of them, they will always tell you like, okay, if you really measured up well for your interview panel, you really measured up well, they will tell you, okay, if you can be able to get your type rating, I will be able to absorb you or employ you into our system. All right. So it's always good for you to go that step further to get that type rating done. But like we all know, I stated on my previous video about the cost. If you've not watched that video, please remember to drop under the comment section that you need to hear about the cost of becoming a pilot. Go listen to it and it will give you a heads up of what to expect about the whole type rating, flying school, all that. Okay? So, in conclusion, you now get the job by the grace of God, and we give God the glory. You don't get job. This airline don't employ you. You don't fly for this airline. Good. The hurdle never end. Hey, the wahala never finish. Oh, the drill still continues. Okay, so came out with your type rating. You got a job with an airline. What next? Airline has to put you through a line training. Line training. Remember when you when you did your flying school at the normal Cessna 172 Piper Cherokee, or 28 or 42 them. Now you use do your training, or the Diamonds. Now you use do your training, which are the smaller airplanes. By the time where you come, then you go do your type rating. That type rating you do for inside simulator. Now the airline has employed you. It's not in the airline, it's not the simulator that you will fly. You will be flying human beings to real aircraft. All right? So that real aircraft now, they will train you how to fly that real aircraft. Because most of the time, the simulators, conditions that you experience is just like static conditions that even when they say crosswind or this thing, those are things that they program in the system. It might be just coming from this, but on the real life, the crosswind will come from diverse ways. If you say maybe 30 knots is coming from this side, the temperature is hot, the ground temperature is hot, convection current is pushing the aeroplane up, maybe 10 knots is coming from the head side or something like that. It can vary. And what the air you see here, or the wind you experience here, or the weather you experience at this part, you are going into land, is different from what you experience here. So, it varies based on live flying. So the airline will put you through training as well, line training. We call that line training. That line training is when you will be flying with passengers. Your instructor will be sitting as a captain and training you. You will be sitting as a co-pilot and flying. He will be guiding you through until he sees that if he, the captain, is incapacitated or anything happens to him, that you can safely fly this aeroplane and land safely. Park the aeroplane, then call any medical assistant to come and take over the situation that day. Once you're able to display that your instructor, you're good to go. They'll bring an examiner, do your check right, check you out, and you keep on You now start growing in your career from second officer to first officer, from first officer to senior first officer, from senior first officer to becoming a captain, and like that, you keep on building your experience, and that is it. All right. So that is it for it on your career path and steps of you becoming a pilot. If you have any further questions or clarification under this one, I beg, don't forget to do what? To drop it under the comment section so that whenever I see it, so it will give you the danger of facing another update. I still love you and I can never love you guys.